Happy Flossmas number 2, my stitchy friends. This is Laura from Stitching by the Shore, and I'd like to welcome you back for another Flossmas video. As I told you in the first one, it won't be every day. I will have them here and there as I do different things for the holiday season or just some crafting fun, holiday or not. Today I am doing something that is more holiday related, and I thought it'd be fun to share it with you. I am finishing trading cards, and I have 3 of the 4 completely finished, and I have the 4th one almost finished, but I thought we'd finish it together so that I can exactly show you what I did if this is something that you'd be interested in. I am taking, if you're new, I stitched this 4 times, and I'm taking it from the Just Cross Stitch Christmas Ornaments issue from this year, 2022. And just to show you the original pattern, this is the original pattern, this small one here, and you'll see I didn't stitch the heart or the joy. I wanted to keep it nice and small, and it fits perfectly. In fact, fine, no space problems with it at all on trading cards. So let me show you 2 of the 4 that are done, and then I will switch out the camera and we can finish the 4th. So I have one done in a very neutral and one done in a green, but there we go. That's what those 2 finished ones look like. And that's what we're going to finish together today. So stay tuned. I am going to flip the camera and get all of my stuff together, and we will do a little bit of crafting this Flossmas. Okay friends, I am back, and here is all of what I need to show you. Here are the 2 that I showed you, and then here's the 3rd one that is completely finished. And finally, the 4th one, where you can see right here, the only thing I haven't done with this is put the crystals on. So I thought we would do that together. And I'm going to break down all the different pieces in this trading card so that we can make this last one and finish it off together. So what am I using for these? First off, what I started with was obviously the stitched piece, and I showed you the magazine and the original pattern that came from. And you can see I stitched it 4 times. Green, blue, neutral, and then the very light yellow. Once that was done, I put interfacing on the back of all 4, and I fussy cut them out so that they were all set to go. I decided that I wanted just the bit around the picture that I had stitched. Now, as a reminder, trading cards are 2.5 by 3.5 inches. Any direction. There's my little note for an 18 count. It's a 45 by 63 is the biggest stitch count I could have if I was to have it completely on this card. You can stitch anything, use any part of it, whatever, and you can do any other kind of crafting with them as well. So that's always my base, and that's how I always figure out if things are going to fit or how they're going to fit. So I'll put that to the side. Now, I thought it would be a lot of fun, since this is kind of a holiday picture, that I wanted a little bit of sparkle. So I took my mica mist sprays, and in this case I have antique gold, right? Yes, antique gold, and this one is silver smoke. So for the most part, a gold and a silver. You give them good shakes before you use them. I took them outside. Now, I took them outside on a windy day, because I really wanted to get that done. So, you know, things went a little bit crazy. I found I didn't have a box. Usually if I have a box that I've gotten orders in, I will stick in this case, it was this cardstock, pine feather cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. I would put it in there and then I would spray. I didn't have that, so I basically cut apart just a garbage bag and I laid the stuff on there, and then I sprayed that way. And I usually do my best to spray from a farther height. At times you'll get clumps, and you can tell I did this twice. So if you see here, because, you know, depending on how I sprayed or what I was doing, and this was the first side I had sprayed, it got a little clumpy, which is fine. You don't necessarily need to worry about that. Or, you know, there'll sometimes just be bigger bits. But I decided to try it a second time to see if I could get a bit more misty like. Now you can even see there's some bigger ones in this one, but it kind of blends in and it does okay. So I'm not really worried about that. So I took this cardstock, and this is what we ended up with. This is cut down now, obviously. This was the original side, and then this is the side that I cut from. It's cut down because I've already cut 4, but I can get another 4 easily if I wanted to do the same size and shape, or I can use this for my scrapbooks or card making or anything else that I want to do. I did try it. Let me show you in a navy. I thought that was a lot of fun too, but the colors of what I was, of these pieces didn't quite really go with that blue. So I'll have it for something else. And yeah, so this will go to the side and that's all set to go. I'm gonna put these to the side as well. If you ever have any questions, I got these at scrapbook.com. No, I got the silver at scrapbook.com. These are Tonic Studio products. So I want to say I got the gold. I probably got that from Tonic itself. Alrighty, so we'll put those to the side. So I sprayed my cardstock. I got that all set, and then I tried to figure out what did I want to do. I first decided that I wanted some sort of something. I don't even know what to call it in my brain, but something down the middle. I could have used pattern paper, but I really like using washi tape. Washi tape comes in all sorts of shapes, sizes, and designs. This one happens to be from Echo Park. It is part of their The Magic of Christmas line, and it is red buffalo plaid washi tape. You can get washi tape from tons of places. I'm sure buffalo plaid would also be from many different types of companies. I just happen to like Echo Park is one of my favorite companies, so that's where I got that from. So for the most part, and again, there's nothing that's really magical about how I did this in the sense of I didn't measure, I eyeballed it. So if you were to measure from here to here and here to here, is it equally in the center? Probably not, but I don't worry about that. I'm doing this, as part of just enjoyment and a handcraft. And I think just a little bit of non-perfection is kind of fun. Now, I've already put something on the back. I could have cut the washi tape, but I ended up just wrapping it around the back. And since I want to put my information to, my name, the date, and the name of the card or whatever, I needed something on the back anyway. So it serves 2 purposes. It allows me to write what I want to write, and it covers up the back of the washi tape. If you don't care about covering up things in the back, then don't. That's no problem either. We're all here to see the front of the card, not the back. All right, so I got that done, and then I figured, and the last thing I always do is tape my stitched piece on. So I place it on and I move it around, and I had it in the middle, and I said, well, is that enough? And it could have been. It was a lot of fun, and they had the sparkle and things like that. So I thought about keeping it that way. But, I have some supplies that I want to use up, and I thought it would be a lot of fun. So I ended up taking some flat back crystals. You can see here, I don't have this labeled, but it's just a straight clear, I would say. Most of the time I label these, sometimes with a millimeter, as well as what color they were when I ordered them, the name of the color. I will show you my whole batch of these right now, but I have these. I used to put them on cards quite often, and then I kind of got out of it for a little while, but they came with me to Delaware, so I said, why not use them? I originally had them in just like the plastic drawers, and then as I'm trying to reorganize my craft room, I did a little bit of shopping to find different containers. I have these and my brads stored in a cart from IKEA, and the drawers themselves were pretty thin. One day when the craft room is ready, I will give you a craft room tour and show you all my different ways to organize things. But this is basically a refrigerator storage bin. In fact, when I open it up, you'll be able to see the pictures of vegetables that I never took the actual paper off of it to completely use it without this. So you can see here, it just opens right up and the top comes off, and it's nice and low, so it fits perfectly in my IKEA drawer. As you can see, Fire Mountain is, well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Some of these are from Fire Mountain, but quite a few of them are actually jewelrysupply.com. In fact, quite a bit of these probably are. These containers might be from Fire Mountain. I haven't recently checked to see if jewelrysupply.com is still around. If it is, I will put the link down below. So what I've done here, for example, is these are all different flat back crystals. If I look at one of the containers there, does it tell me the millimeter I'm buying? Usually it just says flat back 2026. Oh, SS20. That's what I needed. That's the number I needed. SS20. Those are pretty much all of the different sizes that I got. So every single one of these are all that same size. And you can see from different colors, from emerald over to aqua. Let's see, this one I peridot to fire opals. So lots of different fun ones. I decided I just wanted to go with the clear just to keep it. So that's what I have right here. I'm going to put this away. If you have any questions about this, I got this, I want to say, at Home Goods, but I can give you the information if it was something you wanted and you needed to look at elsewhere. All of the plastic containers I got at Home Goods probably about 6 to 8 months ago, they no longer have the brands that I was getting. So I'm trying to be creative and think about some other things I wanted to do. Okay, so that has, we've done the spray, we've done the washi tape, and we've pulled out our crystals. And I've pulled out the last 2 crystals I'm going to use. Now for adding the crystals to the paper, I use a type of glue. I happen to use the Aleene's Tacky Glue. And these were already done. And I mean, I give some good pressure and they're already attached. They're already on there. When I ship these, I will put some bubble wrap on them just to protect them. Or I will put them in a bubble wrapped manila kind of envelope just for protection's sake. Otherwise, if it's sent through a machine, you know, it could rip the envelope and then maybe cause some jarring. So just for extra protection, I am going to find a way to cover that front to protect it for mailing purposes. If it was in a box or something, it really wouldn't matter. Okay, so what do I use to put on the crystals? And this is what I've done for years. Is very low tech, and it works for me. So I just figured I'm going to keep doing the same thing. I'm going to get myself a piece of just copy paper so that I protect the mat right here, and I can keep these right here. I'm going to put these to the side because we don't need those anymore. So my Aleene's glue, what I do a lot of times, if I'm doing something like this, I can either, if it's really close to the top, I'll just keep it the way it is. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you and hold it upside down for a minute, and then there'll be some in the cap. Excuse me. So we have the Aleene's. Now I use, this is a kid's, I assume it's a kid's brush. I don't even know. I've had this thing for so long. It's a paintbrush. It's a regular old paintbrush. I don't use it as a might be like a watercolor or something like that. I use the back of it. This one was designated as being my gluing stick. So that's what I have. You can obviously use anything. There's probably official things, but I just use that. And then I found out the hard way as I would glue my fingers to these things that having some sort of tweezers was really helpful. These happen to be making memories. Again, I don't remember how or where I got these from. You push it in to open it and it's going to grab my crystals. Sometimes it takes a little bit of use. This is a little bit, I wouldn't say hard, but if you have any arthritic fingers, I would play around with what would work for you. You know, this might be a little bit more difficult depending on how your fingers feel for strength, but it works for me. And I've had it again for years. And this is how I finally learned how to attach my crystals. Okay, so there's probably glue in the cap at this point. So I'm going to undo it and just gently put that to the side. And now I have my cap full of glue. I'm going to need very, very little, so it's going to be fine. Okay, when I do these, I like to do them from the top and then I keep rotating. So I had done this one, then I rotated, and then this one. And then just for my own purposes, for me to eyeball it and how my dexterity works. If you can just do 4 and keep it like that, then I say go for it. So let me make sure I have this in the camera frame. All right, so I just take my tweezer. It just takes the flat back crystal. And again, I'm going to be very gentle holding it, but it does a good job keeping it. I take a very little bit of the glue onto the back of my, let me get a little bit more. I'm trying to be too neat here. And I just put some on the back. I'll show you once I get it on there. So there you go. I just have glue right on the back of the crystal. I'm gonna put this right here. And then I'm going to find where I wanna put it. It's not gonna be 100% perfect. And then I just squeeze, I let go. I'm gonna move this just slightly. And then I very gently with the tip of my tweezers push down. Now you're gonna see how some of the glue came out? You'll get to figure out what works or doesn't work. I don't worry about that because, let me show you for a second. Let's see if I can even see it. I think it was this top one. I had to move it around a little bit and I think it might've been my first one and there's extra glue. It dried completely clear. So I have to literally put my eyes right in front of it for me to see. If I see it from a distance, I can't tell that there's the extra glue. So that will dry clear. And so I don't worry about it if I have to move it. And sometimes then there's a little bit of glue showing, or if a little bit of glue comes out over the edge. Again, a little bit of glue over the edge, but you can't really see it. So again, that's something that doesn't bother me. So one is done. Let's get the second one done. So again, I take it with the tweezers. Depending on how much glue I had on here and how fast I was doing them, I probably could have used without going again to the cap, but I'm going to add a little bit more. Whoa. And there you see, once in a while, I was a little bit rough with it and it came a little bit undone from the tweezers. That was the first time that's happened the entire time I've done it. I did it purposely just for you. Okay. No, I didn't. Mistakes happen, but you can fix them, right? So there it is. The glue's on there. And then I'm going to slowly drop it on. Push it down with my tweezers. And then there you go. It's good to go. Once I did that, and again, there's a little bit of glue. If you wanted to, this could still be moved. This is why I'm not completely using something to clean up the glue. If you could take a toothpick or something and very gently grab the glue if it bothered you, but I'm not going to worry about it. So you do have a little bit of wiggle room. These don't set immediately, but for example, this one was a few hours ago. They're pretty much on there now. So it just takes a little bit of time, but not days and days in order to get them to dry. Pretty quick. I wouldn't do it and then 5 minutes later try to handle it and package it and ship it, because then that might not work. And honestly, do I even clean these off? Sometimes I do. It just has a glue tip at the back, and that's fine. It doesn't bother me. And let's move all of these out of the way, and I can just show you the 4 finished pieces now. So again, on the back, they have the red so that I can put my information. But if we look here, you know what? I'm just going to go like this and put them in nice order. So there we go. I have 4 sparkly trading cards ready to go. 2 are hopefully getting in the mail as I knock my glue gun out of the way. 2 are going in the mail hopefully this week. And then there's 2 more ready to trade. So that's it. If you have any questions about where I got something or how I did something, please reach out. I'd be happy to answer them. And if you'd like to trade trading cards with me, you can always reach out and we can exchange addresses. And yeah, and be on the lookout. Hopefully, maybe we will do in 2023 some sort of swap. And that's it for today. I hope you are enjoying your December and you are getting some you time and crafty time in. And until next time, happy crafting.